Hi friends, it's Julia. I'm here to share 4 cards that I created using my June 2019 Counterfeit Kit Challenge kit. Now, I had originally used the RTS method of cutting down my papers for this kit for most of the layouts, and this is part of the 4x4 series that I did the last set of cards. I actually did with this kit 2 sets of 4x4 series where you create 4 layouts and then 4 cards, and this is the second set. So these are leftover papers from my kit that I had not previously used, or they were set aside specifically for the cards. I cut down some cardstock and then layered everything up and placed them on the card bases. I'm not making these super duper fancy. They're mostly using the die cuts that came in one of those Cheeky Studio ephemera packs that I had added into the kit. Not two-dimensional either. These are all going to be pretty flat for mailing. I just needed some cutesy type cards, and I thought these would work with that nice floral background. It almost gives you a like a psychedelic feel, if you will, with like big flowers and leaves floating through the sky, and you've got these wonderful unicorns just hanging out. You know, kind of gives me a 70s vibe, if you will. I like how they turned out. I think they turned out super cute. Your opinion might be different, and that's okay. You don't have to love my stuff. Anyway, so here I am. I'm just layering some things up. The ephemera pack that I had multiples of like the flowers and the butterflies, and they were like one size down from the next. So you might have 3 of the pink flowers and or butterflies and 3 of the blue, but they were each just a tad bit smaller than the next. So what I did was I layered some up to give it almost an extra dimensional look. And so here, as I go through this process, I'm just going to be gluing them down. I'll talk a little bit about the RTS method of 4x4. So you start off with, I think you have 4 pattern papers, and then you have 1 or 2 optional papers, and then you have your card bases, and I think that's what you use to create your layouts. She gives you pre-cut patterns. Like she'll tell you, cut page 1 into a 1x12, a 4x12, a 6x12, whatever the dimensions are that she gives you. She might even tell you to cut part of it down to like 3x4s and 4x4s or 7x7, weird shapes, you know. And then for each layout that you do, you take a certain piece of the pattern paper from the first page that you cut, the second page that you cut, the third page that you cut, and the fourth page that you cut. And you have the option of using your optional sheets in any of that, whether you replace something that you've already cut or you use it as a background or for whatever. And so with this process, you also get enough to make 4 cards. You do the 4 layouts, and then you have 4 cards. And so it worked out pretty good, other than the fact that I did with this kit, I decided I was going to repeat the 4x4 method over and over again until it was complete, which was great. I completed 1 series of 4x4 and needed a little bit of a break, and I did a layout, and I did a couple of extra cards, and then I proceeded with the second set of 4x4 with this paper kit. By the time I got to these cards, I had thrown out most of what I had pre-cut for the pages that I created as far as the scrapbook layouts. For these cards, I have pulled some of the supplies in that had previously been selected or pre-cut for these cards. Some of it I just pulled in different stuff. I really got tired of it. So in my opinion, for me, I should not do the 4x4 series back to back with the same kit, only because after a little bit I get tired of looking at these pre-cut strips of paper and thinking, oh, I could have done something completely different. And rather than use some of the papers that I loved to create like full page layouts with them, I ended up cutting them up, and then my heart was broken that I did not get to use those the way I had envisioned it when I had originally put the kit together. And you know, it's okay, it's a learning process. So for me, I learned that, yeah, I might do one 4x4 series with the kit, but I won't do additional 4x4s with the same kit. I think I'll take a spacer and do something different with them. Not that I don't love the layouts that I created, because I do. I think they all turned out pretty good, and I'm happy. I'm pleased with them. They'll go into my albums with no problem whatsoever. So here I'm just again plugging along at gluing these cards down. Because everything was pre-cut, or mostly pre-cut. I only had a little bit to do with it. I didn't have much to do as far as putting the cards together, so it didn't take very long at all. And just layering up these die cuts and gluing them down, that was probably the most time-consuming pieces to make sure that I had everything that I wanted where I wanted it. The insides of these cards are pretty simple too, and nothing fancy at all. I put the same sentiment on the inside of each of the cards just to make it a quicker process in the long run. So this is the final card, and I'm looking at that floral paper, and I absolutely loved that floral paper, and I wished I had used it in bigger pieces, but oh well, lesson learned, right? And you can see, because I did not have any additional white cardstock out, I just used the back side of some of the pattern paper that was single-sided to create a white border around the floral papers. Yeah, so I had those two phrases that were included in the ephemera pack, and I just, the only way that I could think to get them used was to use them on the cards themselves as opposed to on a layout. They just didn't work out. They almost felt maybe like a baby or something. For a baby layout, they would have worked really well, but I don't have any baby photos. I guess I could have gone into my stash and pulled out photos of my children when they were babies, but yeah, not going to do that. Not at this point in my life anyway. I'm still working on getting those sorted, and years ago, before we had digital, we actually had film and cameras, and every time you got a roll developed, you had 24 or 36 photos to deal with, plus if you got doubles or triples, whatever, if you were going to give them out to family members or friends. So yeah, I have boxes and boxes and boxes of photos and albums full of photos, because I've always been a very proliferative photo taker. So here I am. I've got my ink out, and it's a close to my heart ink. I'm going to stamp, like I said, I'm going to put the same sentiment on the inside of each card. Nothing super fancy, no rocket science here. I just want to keep it simple to get these cards done. And you can see it's Celebrate Life. You can probably use these cards to be birthday cards. You can probably use them for baby cards when someone has a baby. I think that would be a good option. Or just as an encouragement to somebody as a get well. If somebody's been in the hospital after a long illness, these are always, these kind of sentiments are good to use just as a reminder, for people to celebrate life and everything they've gone through. Anyway, so I'm at the end of this June kit. I will be doing an Out with the Old and layout share of all of the cards and all of the layouts that I have created with this kit here soon. So make sure that you stay tuned to my channel. If you're not already subscribed, please feel free, hit that subscribe button, especially if you're interested in seeing more layouts that are put together like this, or that are layouts created from your stash, because that's primarily what I do. I do bring in new supplies. Sometimes they're like supplies that come from Tuesday Morning or Dollar Tree or wherever. If I'm out and about and I find something to use for scrapbooking, I'll pull it in and utilize it that way. But a lot of the stuff that I have is in my stash that's been there for a while, and I try to pull that out and get it used up. So if you're interested, please feel free, subscribe if you like. I hope if you are inspired to create by watching this video that you'll flip me a thumbs up. And if you're interested in seeing videos when I put them out, please hit that notification bell, and YouTube should notify you via email, I believe, whenever I put that email out or whenever I put that new video up. Anyway, I sure appreciate you guys sticking around and watching the videos that I've created. And, you know, for all of those who have subscribed, thank you so much. I appreciate you being here and being interested in what I do and what I create every week. I hope that, you know, my whole goal in creating my channel is to inspire you to use what you have. And I get so inspired by watching other people who are pulling out their own stash kits. And I love that it's become a big thing these days, because I absolutely love doing this. And I love seeing what other people have and how they use it to create layouts that don't feel old-fashioned or out of date, but they feel new and fresh, even though they're using older supplies. And I hope that's what these videos that I create do for you, is help to encourage you. Anyway, I sure appreciate it, like I said, and I will see you guys on the next video. Have a great day, everyone.